Thanks so much. That's really our time. I apologize.
You can't do that to black media.
I can't do that to white media and black media because my wife has to go on at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Oh, I'm in trouble.
Listen, you got to come see us when you come to New York, VP Biden.
I will.
It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
It don't have nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with the fact I want something for my community.
Thanks so much.
Okay, so y'all heard that little exchange right there. It was a real small clip, but probably the most important part of the audio as a whole. And if there's more out there, I really don't know where to find it because this is just an interview from each other's different venues. So that was Charlemagne interviewing creepy Jim Crow Joe Biden. And you heard what he said right there in the last couple of seconds with your own ears. He said, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or for Trump, then you ain't black. Talk about letting the cat all the way out of the bag. As a matter of fact, you didn't let the cat out of the bag. You dumped the cat out of the bag. Basically, in a nutshell, what he's saying is he wants us to stay on the democratic plantation. And that he's also pretty much exposed that it's been black people that's been upholding this democratic plantation for so long, even though we haven't gotten shit in return. And that's what they want us to continue doing. But you have the sisterhood of failure, the sister girlhood of failure, I should say, talking about we need to stand behind Joe Biden, despite the fact that he is a creep and the fact that he was behind that 1994 crime bill and a host of other things. Because we want representation. What are you bringing to the table? Enthusiasm. That's what we're bringing to the table. Enthusiasm. And people, black people, will listen to this. And still claim that it's not a big deal. Did y'all not hear what he just said? He said, if you have a problem figuring out whether you are for me or Trump, then you ain't black. What the heck? They're basically saying that we should automatically just vote for him because we're black, and that's just how the Democratic Party is ran. At one point, people would have really felt head over heels for that, but not today. But Charlemagne did come back and say it don't have nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with the fact I want something for my community. Now, see, with Charlemagne, he's like a double-edged sword. Like, you don't know whether to take him serious at one point or to take him seriously at another point. But right here, he actually did hit the nail on the head. It's not about Trump. He didn't say anything about 45. This was about you, Joe Biden. It was about you. It wasn't even a huge voting block of black people that voted for 45 back in 2016. I think they said that only 13% of black people voted for him. The hugest voted block for Trump was PC males, PC women, and the Hispanic Latino community. Those were the biggest voting blocks for 45 back 4 years ago. And you saw who the huge voting block was for the Democratic Party, but it failed. Like that, what he said was an insult, but some will try to take it as either a compliment or say, "Oh, he's just playing. You don't need to take it seriously." Yes, we do need to take what he says seriously, and a lot of the other things. But see, like I said, people dislike 45 so much that they are willing to take the abuse from the other massa. Like I said, I don't support neither one of these guys. We in trouble either way, as far as I'm concerned. Because you have some people, but people say, well, 45, he got us all into this mess. We are done. To be quite honest, we were done before he got in. We'll be done after he's gone. And if Joe Biden, creepy Jim Crow Joe, gets in, we'll be done under him too. Quite honestly. As black people, our lot in life for years has been very minimal. I don't know what creepy Jim Crow Joe is going to do unless y'all just want to look to him as the Messiah. Because guess what? 45 was seen as the Messiah for many palm-colored people. And many of them are struggling right now. I called it back in 2016. I said, y'all not going to see it today. Y'all not going to see it tomorrow. The day after that, next week, next month, possibly not even next year. But I promise you this, the same people that was out there supporting 45 are going to be the same ones complaining maybe a year from now. And what happened? Maybe around 2018, that's when people started to feel the effects of this stuff. And they're really feeling it now under this quarantine. So like I said, whether it is 45 or creepy Jim Crow Joe, hell, even 44. I know that's real taboo. I can't believe I said that. Oh, yes, I can. We were done either way. It's just that now everybody else around us who had this illusion that they were in are feeling it too. We're no longer alone in this. At one point, we were just by ourselves. But now, everybody else is starting to feel the burn. And ironically, Bernie Sanders, who is no longer a candidate. But yeah, I would say creepy Jim Crow Joe got a lot of nerve for what he said, but we know that he don't. He said exactly what he said, and he meant it. But then what he'll do is he'll probably come out and say it was a joke. I apologize. And to make it better, I'll make one of you black negresses, black women, my running mate. And then all will be better in the world. And y'all silly asses will go out there and forgive him and still continue to vote for him. And then when he gets in office, he ain't going to do nothing. Just like Doug Jones did nothing for those black women who voted for him in droves a couple years ago. The writing is on the wall. It is so blatantly obvious. And people get so mad and so upset when you call this out for what it is. Neither one of them are good for us. Neither one. To be quite and brutally honest.